When my guests and I began to have this conversation, none of us expected it would be as extensive as it got. And I am glad that it was that extensive because we were able to cover many areas. Now, in part three of that interview, they get to discuss the reasons why they are committed to doing what they do, and also how they think that they can use their roles in this association to affect the lives of people. It seems to me that the argument can be made that there are common threads across cultures. Therefore, in talking about Owan and the Owan Association, anyone watching might also recognize his or her own culture and his or her own values, his or her own traditions and customs in that discussion. It is my hope that we all will find a way to care for other people so that we not only just live within ourselves and care only about ourselves, but also care about others who live in the world that we live in. So I would like to ask you, Mr. Ozolua, at the end of the day, how would we know that all of the goals that everybody has discussed here today have been achieved? How would we know that the association has reached its destination?
Thank you very much. I've listened to my colleagues, and a lot of them have touched the goals of the association. Before I go further, I will want to state here that the goals of the association or the purpose of this association will be found in the Constitution, page 3, Article 2. Number 1 there, permit me, I'm going to read it out. It says, to promote the social, cultural, educational, civic, and general well-being of her members in particular, and Owan indigenes of Edo State, as well as Edo people at large. You see, we at the Dr. Asikhia mentioned, our cultural heritage to be passed on to our kids, which is one of the basic goals. And they also went on to mention unity, which is another basic goal. Unity, like you just mentioned, that what you are discussing is good to demonstrate it. I'm going to start with you to demonstrate unity to you. If you take a stick of a broom out of the broom itself, you want to break it, it will break easily, right? But take the whole broom, the where you have about 100, 200, then you want to break it. I tell you, it's impossible. See, in our language, we have support for each other. See, when America says, I got your back, that is the meaning. When two hands come together to wash themselves, both hands will wash cleanly. But when you use one hand, this is my right hand, I'm trying to wash it, I put water, it will take a longer time and it take a longer time, and it might not even be as clean as when I bring the left hand to the right hand. Yes. So one of the goals which I would want to be met as far as this association is concerned is the unity of Owan people here in America and back home. Professor Ohiro, you are a legend. And we have other people like you, like your calibers, whom we are praying for to join us to be members of this association. Of course, a segment of Owan is void as far as this association is concerned. You may ask me, which segment is that? And I'm happy you are conducting this procedure today. It will be a link for us to get in touch with them. The Otuo people. No single Otuo person is a member of this association. It's a void. It's a void. Mm-hmm. So one of our goals right there is not met. And the other people out there, doctors, professors, nurses, engineers, lawyers, practicing in America that are not members. Why? That's a void. So many other things. So like I said, one of the things I would want to be met immediately is the transformation of our cultural heritage to our children, teaching them our culture and all. So by the time our children born in this country, and they are our children's children who are residing here, born here, even though they have not been to our local place, our Owan, they are able to remember that, oh, my parents, either my father or my mother or both parents are from Owan, and they try to emulate. They develop the interest of speaking our language, the simple ones. We have reached a goal. That's one. Another thing is, we are talking of helping people back home. You cannot help somebody when you are not seeing results. By the time an Owan child is able to appreciate and show the goodness he or she has gotten from Owan Association, we are close to the goal. By the time the Owan child, whether an orphan or a child who has dynamic, leading parents, is able, at the end of the day, is able to get at least two meals, even if not up to 3, through our cooperation, through our highness, through our organization, through our help, then Owan Association is close to meeting her goals. The goals will not be met if all these things are still there. All these loopholes are there. Owan child, back home or here, is unable to go to college. We have not met our goal. Owan child is in poverty, is unable to feeding. Like the doctor said, Dr. Asikhia said, a child that is hungry definitely will go astray and go and look for a food to eat. How will he eat? It could be through crook or by any means. Then that one will not be there. An Owan child who believe in the culture and the heritage of Owan people believe in their hands and believe in doing things for themselves. By the time Owan child is able to do things for themselves, either through our help or through the help of the community members, then we are very close to our goals. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Arasah, I am going to have you round us up in this way before I go to the president. At one point during this conversation, I asked you how we could connect the younger ones in a way that they would actually extend and take a place on behalf of Owan in the national context. Because we know that Owan people so far are very successful, but here is also something that I know. Next week, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be interviewing youths from Nigeria and Ghana. So I'll be beaming them from Nigeria and also from Ghana. And I have been informed that 2 of the young people that I'll be speaking with next week One of the two young people that we're speaking with next week, her parents are from Owan. She is actually a successful young woman who has a channel on YouTube that is doing very well. Here is what I want. I want you to tell me what to tell a young person like that. She doesn't speak the dialect. Her father is from Ozolua and her mother is from Ora. She doesn't speak either. So that's my understanding. But I want you to tell me what to tell her when she comes on next week, because there are many people like her, according to Ms. Iwuede.
Okay, thank you, Doc.
Born and raised in Nigeria, and she lives in Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She lives in Benin, actually.
In Benin, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Lagos.
still okay in Lagos.
Yeah,
okay.
I think Lagos, right?
Okay. Yeah. My first question was going to be, does she reside in the U.S.?
No.
But you have already answered it, but it's okay. One way you can, link us to youths out there, refer them to our website. When you refer them to our website, there's a way there they can contact us. If they cannot contact us individually, they can contact us. And by so doing, like you said, the young lady is very maybe eloquent and popular in a YouTube environment. That's a way to actually reach other youths that do not have the opportunity to even talk to any other person. But every person now has a cell phone, and I know they can use the cell phone and get to YouTube on their cell phone. When they can do that, we can so much use that young girl to contact us. With that, we can even spread the word.
I'll actually tell you what she does, and she's on YouTube. I've seen her channel. She dishes out relationship advice, social advice to other young people, and how to conduct themselves and so on. And she's successful. She has a good following.
See, that is so nice. You see, I have a cousin in it's a cousin, my uncle's son. He's an author now. I have the book in my living room that they just sent to me to help him, distribute. I probably have to pay for the book so that people can just have it. Yeah, just to encourage him. So, and he's a young guy. He's I understand he has a real estate company in Abuja, but he wrote this book about love for these young kids, so that they don't fall in the trap of in an abusive relationship and all that. So somebody like that, I can contact him, and I know he knows some of our younger kids in Abuja, even though he did not grow up in the village. Was born in Benin, but my uncle, all of them moved to the north. So ever since then, they have been there. But that does not mean that he doesn't have contact with other young kids from our area. Okay.
Thank you very much. And Mr. President, I'm going to come to you to give us just one final comment. But in the meantime, maybe we can listen to something new. So
Probably DJ.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's a powerful song, isn't it?
Yep.
Who said yes?
Mike.
I think Michael said yes. So what does it mean?
I just giving his life to God, telling God that he is the only one that can lead him through.
That's true.
Not Bubeleyo. He's the only one that can lead him through.
Right.
Everyone will fail, but he will never fail him.
That's
That's
true.
all he's just trying to explain. Not Bubeleyo, so that he will be able to climb the mountain, to climb every circumstance in front of him, that God just back him up and lead him through.
That's
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. So Dr. Esezobor, please give us your final comments.
Yeah, Professor Hiro, I truly appreciate what you've done this evening. But before I give my final comment, I know you just talked about our youngsters, both at home and right here in the US. I think they need to hear the success of a lot of Owan people, you know, around the world, what they have done, what they have accomplished. And Mustafa is also very versed with the history of Owan people. And I'm just trying to see if he can talk about some of those successes that Owan people and the impact that they've made in Nigeria. Is this something Mustafa can talk about a little bit? Because our children need to start to hear this. So they know that when they work hard, they aspire to do well in life, they have a chance for themselves. Just seeing what other Owan children have done. So if Mustafa can just try to mention some of those names of our Owan people, that will be very helpful.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, President. Well, so we have a lot of them, but the few that I'm going to mention, not to waste much of our time. The Agboje AIG Imokwede, former CEO, Access Bank PLC, and current chairman of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Okay. Olusegun Olutoyin Aganga, former Minister of Trade,
That's my in-law.
Commerce and Investment. See, and we have Yisa Brahmo, who is actually from Ihebe. He was, is an ex-senator now. Michael Imodu, Labour leader. These are national positions. Okay, national players. Okay, Abiola Irele, professor and vice chancellor, Kwara State University. Okay, who doesn't know Dele Momodu? Professor, owner of Ovation magazine. Yes. Okay. And Isaac Albayan, professor, former chancellor of Covenant University and current vice chancellor, Landmark University. J.D. Ohai Ojekere, a very known photographer. These are not local photographers. These are on national level. Okay. We have a strong philanthropy who has a namesake of our brother here, who is also a very great philanthropist, Ozolua, Modupe, great philanthropist. Okay, and I know my brother here will surpass that in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Mabel Shegun, writer, winner of Nigerian Prize for Literature, 2007. And we are looking forward to our Mabel Inuigwe here to achieve such an awesome thing too. Okay.
Mabel Atane.
Mabel Atane. I'm sorry. Mabel Atane. Yes. Okay. Ambrose Van Sekin, Nigerian goalkeeper. Who never heard of him?
Yes.
These are our national ones. Okay. And those who have even died and gone, who gave inspiration to young entrepreneurs. Who didn't know Jimiko?
Jimiko.
Jimiko.
Yes.
Jimiko Hotel.
Jimiko Hotel. Who did not hear of Lawrence Idonije?
Yes.
He was in construction. He's from Ihewe. And Inu Umoru, his son took over from where the father left off. You know, he's a national player too. You know, I think the relative is in Atlanta there. Okay.
Timothy
So,
Omobare too was.
Omobare.
Yeah.
So we have
DIG.
Was the Inspector General of Police.
Inspector General of Police.
It's late now.
Yes. You know, so these are notable children of Owan. So when our youth, you know, hears these names like this, that will inspire them to say, if that man can do it, even though my resources are limited, I will aspire to be something like that. You know, these are the things we the association too. We can come in and say, okay, let's help this this particular person who has a very high achieving GPA. We can help them. You know, so this is like I said before, we are a young association. The president said it. We are young, but we are not limited. That is why we need all sons and daughters of Owan to join us. You know, one tree cannot make a forest. Okay, it takes a village to raise a child. So if they can join us, you can win a lot of battles that we have out there.
Missing from your list is one Mr. Felix Ohiwere,
Felix,
who is one of the biggest players Nigeria has ever known.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah,
Yes, how could I have missed that? That's true. And there are so many others too that I already missed, like Arik Airline. He's an Ora native. You know, there are so many others. I know Dr. Asikhia, you know, was reminding me of some other names yesterday when we were rehearsing this. There are so many of them, you know, and it will really help with this platform to you know, highlight these people that will encourage our youths.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dr. Esezobor.
All right. Professor Ohiro, on behalf of the entire members of Owan Association, I want to say thank you to you. You see, you've gone through with something we never envisioned, you know, in the history of Owan, but you are really moving us to a different level with this recording. So I'm very thankful for you. I'm thankful for Dr. Asikhia for speaking to you about this. And I'm hoping this will go far and wide to every Owan sons and daughters. Now, my plea to some of our Owan associations here in the US, because I heard there is an Owan association in California, there is another one in Houston. I want us all to come together. We are not in competition. We have the same focus to help ourselves here, abroad, and also do for our people at home. So we have same goals. We just need to come together as one unit to work very hard to accomplish these goals. It's not a competition at all. We are all brothers and sisters. And when we all come together, I'm telling you, the sky is the limit as to what we can accomplish. So I'm really using this medium to invite all those our brothers and sisters in other organizations, those that are in Yoruba organization, in Nation Association, in Edo Union, to come home to our association. This is an association that is for Owan people, that was formed by Owan people, and every resources that we put together will go to Owan. So coming together will really help us to accomplish those goals that we have set for us to accomplish. So we want you, we need you, our brothers and sisters. Again, Professor Ohiro, Dr. Asikhia, thank you so much. And every member of Owan's present member of Owan Association, I tell you, we are very solid. We will continue to work hard to make sure that our goals are accomplished. So thank you all so much for all you do. I appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. You know that I recall when my father died in 1988. And after the burial and everything, one old man came to me and he said, remember the lesson that your father taught you. Your father is now dead. Right now, he's not dead. He would have died if you allow his house to be covered with grass.
Yeah.
That's a lesson that I'll never forget. I also recall growing up there, and my father would always say, I don't care where you spend the rest of your life. I, of course, wish you success. I don't care where you marry, who you marry, and so on. But I care about only one thing, that you never forget that this is home. So that no matter where I go, no matter what I do, I always want to remember that the best way I can honor my parents is to never forget where I'm from.
Amen.
And you have really made my evening. I'm really grateful. And definitely you've convinced me to become a member of the association.
Yes.
And it's my job now to try and convince other people. And it will not be a very hard sell. Because the people that I know, my friends who are from Owan, have been members of other associations that they did not continue to be members of because of, experiences that I'm sure that everyone else has had. But I think that this is different. And I believe very strongly that this is an association that is going to carry us through, because we do, all of us, our responsibilities to people back home, because I strongly believe, as you do, that we are blessed so that we can bless others. And it's my hope that together we can do that.
Thank you.
Yes, I really thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I urge you to subscribe to my channel and also feel free to like what you have watched. And at the same time, I would really like you to visit my blog site at www.ruminationsblog.org and read my articles. In addition, I ask that you visit my podcast. You may just go to Apple iTunes or just type on any website, just type Ruminations with Ohiro Oni-Eseleh, and you will get to hear my podcast. Thank you, and I look forward to our next time together. Bye-bye.